Yes, so welcome. We're doing, I think this is week 9. And today we just we're going to do a bit of one-on-one coaching with Tamara. And so this is about our perceptual shift. So when we live out our lives, we kind of build these, our behaviors and our beliefs and everything is filtered through our perception of the world. So all of our values, our beliefs, and we tend to generalize and distort and delete information just based on what we already know and our experiences. And so we have all these prejudgments and a perception about how the world works, and it is it's our own reality. And sometimes we just need to kind of step out of our own way and see what it's like from different perspectives. So our focus today is going to be on money. And we're going to jump straight into coaching. So when it comes to money, Tamara, what would you like to create? What's your end goal?
Oh, my end goal, when I was writing, you mean the true choices or just what it is?
What's your end goal, your true choice around money?
Okay, I guess my end goal, well, for me, what I'd like to create is to have earn an income doing something that I love, to also feel secure with money, that I've got security, sort of stability, like in terms of, I guess, having a property that I'd like to have, to renovate, have an income that is enough to be comfortable for myself and to treat my friends and family, and not to worry, if potentially if I work contracts, if I was out of work, it would be nice to not be worried that I don't have any income coming in. So maybe a passive income thread, as well as earning money through my main job, and also perhaps another side hustle, setting up my Reiki energy business, which I'd also like to do.
Okay, so if you had all of that, what would be, I guess, one of a big end result would be to have really more money than you can spend.
Yes. That would be, for sure.
Income streams. I mean, you don't need to justify the how.
Yeah.
Come to you, but the end result, the absolute end result, really is to have more money than you can spend. Is to have that total financial freedom, financial abundance. And if you had more money than you can spend, everything you just said would just feel right. It would just fall into place, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to come to you in the ways that you can predict. But as an end result around money, does that resonate with you, I guess?
Yes. Yeah, it does. That's what I would like.
Yeah. And so what would having that do for you? And I guess you've explained a lot, but just to answer that question, what would having that do for you? Having more money that you can spend?
Yeah, I think I would feel a sense of ease, a sense of confidence, less stress and anxiety. I don't know, a sense of it would just be easier not to have to worry about paying certain bills or being able to fly back to the UK to see my family. So I think it would feel like there was more flexibility, spontaneity, fun, less stress, things it would just enable me to, live a life that would, which I would like to live.
Yeah. And if you can just imagine stepping into that right now, can you go there?
I can try to. To be honest, I do find it quite hard. I did that little workshop a bit before, and I will step into it, but I do, I'll have a go.
So how about you just make it up? Just use your imagination and just make it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And not putting any pressure on yourself, just making it up, just using your imagination and just going there right now, just feeling having more money than you can spend, just knowing you've got that right now. You know, you've got so many choices, and you've got choices and you can do it. There's no limit because you've got money in the bank, you've got money coming in, you've got that security. You just know you can go to the shop and you can buy whatever you want without looking at the price tag. You can travel whenever you want. You can be with your family. You just know you're totally supported. You've got that sense of limitlessness. Just feel that now. Go there now. Great. So that's step number one.
Yeah.
You know, we want to create that fire, that knowing that it's there, it's possible if you can imagine it.
Yeah. Can I be honest? Like, because I am trying to imagine it, but I actually really quite struggle to imagine it.
Okay, so
I'd like to imagine it, but
you remember a time where you did have more money than you can spend. Perhaps it was after a big project, or you just weren't looking at your bank account, you weren't tracking things, you just kind of lived. And
I mean, I try and live like that, and I try and focus on the abundance and not sort of try and claw at it, and I try and, you know, relax in that work or money will come. So sometimes I get it, but a lot of the time I do find it quite tricky to imagine. But I hear what you're saying. Try and focus on that time. I guess a lot of the time there hasn't been me feeling that way about money. That's probably coming to light now.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, taking yourself out of the picture, perhaps, and like seeing someone else, or just going into a moment, just completely making it up, like a fairy tale, you know, like your dream, like dream as though there's no limit. You know, what would that world look like? What would it feel like to put yourself in like Mark Zuckerberg's shoes or something? Just imagine living his life, and what would he feel? Or someone else, Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
You know, like just go extreme, just go, yeah, what would their life be? You know, jumping on a private jet and just having a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah. Okay.
The hotels and first class. You know, it doesn't have to be that extreme, but if you want,
just a comfortable, fun amount.
Yeah, just fun. Just go there because you want to enjoy seeing what, you know, feeling what it would be like to just splash, you know, $100,000 on a weekend trip in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it. And if that's not something that you enjoy, then take it back a step, like just going on a trip, you know, a weekend getaway to beautiful Tasmania, and, you know, just going wherever you want to go, and just have fun, like something that you've always really wanted to do. Just allow yourself to go there. And then, so we've set the goalpost, you know, like you've gotten into this, have you kind of got there, that feeling of having more money than you can spend?
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine myself going to see the Northern Lights. I've always wanted to do that, travel there with, you know, someone. So I'm getting into my holiday vibe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you're going there, and you're staying in the nicest hotel, and you're drinking champagne, and you're eating good food, and you're doing all the tours, and You're just really loving it. You're enjoying it. You're feeling like, you're at one with nature, and you're ticking off your bucket list, and it just feels so good. It feels such a relief. Like, oh, I'm doing this. This is great. I'm loving life. Life is so good to be able to get me here, see the Northern Lights in, was it Greenland?
Okay.
And just setting that goalpost, knowing how that feels. And then also just noticing where you are right now, just creating that structural tension, noticing where you are right now without judgment, just observation. Where are you right now in relation to where you want to be? And just notice your experience emotionally. When you think about this situation, this structural tension, when you think about all of that, just notice what you experience emotionally when you think about that.
Yeah.
And just looking at that experience, what would someone have to believe to have that experience?
The experience that,
of like being where you are now and where you want to be, feeling that tension. What would someone have to believe to have this experience, this tension?
Well, I'd have to believe that it can happen. Like money can come into my life.
Yeah.
But I guess, I can trust that it's coming, that I'm worthy of receiving the money, that it can come in a way that I might not expect. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, just even when, because of, I guess even in the lockdown, obviously in Victoria, because we're still, although it's beginning, I haven't got work yet. So I guess it's trying to step out of that and just trust that. I mean, I know I will get work at some stage, but that my income wouldn't be enough since half the year's been wiped out already. So it's a bit like what you were saying last time. Don't necessarily expect it to be, it's not how it will come, or, just think about that moment of the money coming. So I guess it's that. Relaxing into that faith that it can happen.
Yes, that
will happen.
So that's going into the next step, which is just noticing the judgments and the inner conflicts and the resistance that is now popping up. Now that we're unpacking it a bit, we're going deeper, noticing the judgments that you've got on this situation.
Yeah.
That anxiety, that judgment of,
there's a lot. Yeah, actually surprisingly resistant at the moment.
Yeah. And you feel this conflict of, yes, I know it's available, but this is where I am now. You can feel that inner conflict.
Yeah, for sure.
And the stories are coming up.
Yeah.
Just notice it. Allow it to come up. Allow it to be expressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all part of it, is acknowledging this resistance. And where would you say out of 10 your resistance is?
If 10 is the highest, the most resistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's really high actually at the moment.
Yeah.
I'd say a good strong 8, possibly higher.
Yeah.
I mean, I know money will come and I know there will be enough, and I have faith in my work, but yeah, in terms of living that, projecting what I want to create, there's a lot of resistance. So probably realistically an 8 or even maybe higher.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, really honoring that conflict of, that trust and knowing, but then also your reservations, your inner conflicts really going, yeah, but how.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. I can feel that actually more than imagining the money will come.
Yeah.
I can feel into the resistance because it's very real for me.
Yeah.
And actually imagining it, I find more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more prominent in your active experience.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is get that balance back up, so that that knowing, that belief that you do have it all, that you can have it all, is we want that to start dominating. So at the moment it's here, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we want to do is set up 3 chairs. So ideally you want 2 chairs that you can kind of switch between.
Okay.
Just don't worry too much about the video, just or have cushions on the floor. So switching from one cushion to the next, and then we'll have an imaginary one too. So you can put a third cushion somewhere.
Okay. As in, for real, we're doing
physically. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting on various chairs.
Yeah. So if there's or a different position, or you can just make it up and do it in
No, I can do that. I can sit on the okay, hold on. I can do this.
So ideally three positions.
3 positions. All right. So could one be on the armchair?
On the chair. Yeah.
I can sit on I can sit on my cushion on the floor or something.
Yeah. And so just there's 2 parts that need to be facing each other.
Okay.
Don't worry too much about the camera, just do what you need to do in your apartment.
Yeah. Okay.
2 facing each other, and the third one doesn't really matter where it is.
All right. Well, how about if I pull up one of my dining room chairs? Something like this?
Perfect.
And then the third one can be in the middle.
Cushion on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, cushion on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need it on camera or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. So I've got this one, that one.
Perfect.
And a cushion. Yeah.
Yeah. So sit in the armchair first.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just so sitting in chair number 1.
Yeah.
Just imagine that money is sitting in the chair opposite you.
Yeah.
And just looking across to chair number 2, and just imagine money sitting there. What's it like to be you sitting across from money? Just noticing what your attitude and your energy is to be sitting there across from money. What's your initial thoughts? Just take your time.
Yeah, something that's sort of a little bit out of reach, a bit untouchable, unreachable.
Yeah. What other beliefs?
Probably a lot of overthinking in my head about it, like a feeling that I've never really had money. It's always even though I've tried to ease into this abundant thinking and really practiced a lot of it, I don't really know if I'm in alignment with that, if I really feel it, like I'm comfortable with it.
So what are your beliefs looking at money in the chair opposite you?
Yeah, like somehow for me, it's never gonna, like, it's always been a struggle. Like in my family, they've always worked really hard, but there's always been never enough money. It's always been quite controlled or quite tight. There's never been an abundance, a feeling of abundance. And there's always been, I guess I think I mentioned it on the last session, like this feeling of a very weird relationship with money. Like I try and be easy with it. And I know that money will come, and I practice that on small amounts and it's fine. I know that, you know, I can pay my rent and that. But I do recognise that money has been an issue, particularly when I think I mentioned it before, like when I was younger, when money did come to my parents for the first time in a long time, they were celebrating that I nearly died, like with an asthma attack. So for me, I've always had this like fear about getting what I want in terms of financially, because I don't necessarily associate it with happiness.
Yeah. So it's almost dangerous.
Yeah, there's something a little bit like superstitious, a little bit weird about it. I don't know how to describe it, but you know, like when you dream about having something money-wise, maybe because I've always grown up with my parents sort of saying it doesn't buy you happiness, or it can be taken away, and blah blah blah. And yeah, I think I've grown up with that fear, because that sort of happened to me when I was really young. And even my parents, since that turning point, have always had a slightly odd relation to money. I think because they were consciously celebrating that windfall that night, and that's the night I nearly died.
Yeah.
So I've kind of grown up with that, because that was probably when I was about 18 months, 2 years old. And I feel that that's how I've grown up with money. There's never quite been enough in the family. There's always fear that it's not enough, it's going to be taken away, that it's more of a poverty mindset to grow up with, definitely not one of abundance. And even though I've tried practicing abundance consistently for a long time, like a couple of years, and I can do it with smaller amounts, but I don't know if I'm totally in alignment. There's still an unease that I have about money for some reason, even though I'd love it. I'd love to think about having a car, you know, that would be reliable and fun to drive, and a beautiful like weatherboard house, you know, and a studio that I could create at the back garden. I can visualize things that I want, but I don't necessarily see that.
Like you said,
thing about it. Yeah, it's a really weird. I know I can sense it talking to you about it.
Yeah. So what would be your outcome? What's your intention?
My intention, talking to you now, in terms of what I want to create, or what I want, how I want to
your
feel.
Intention for this money, sitting across from it now, knowing that how it makes you feel and the beliefs you have towards it. What would be your outcome, your ideal outcome?
Oh, my ideal outcome would be like, yay, thanks very much, take the money. Whereas at the moment, you know, I guess there's a lot of things I'd like to do with money to also make other people happy and more comfortable and treat them. Yeah, do you know what? I would be really, if the money was there, I'd be really sort of hesitant even taking it still.
Yeah. So what would be your ideal outcome in terms of a relationship with money? What's your ideal?
That I could just happily take it without any of the fear or the superstition or the guilt or the feelings that it's going to be taken away, or that I'm not worthy of it, or something horrible is going to happen as a result of me having suddenly this money. Yeah, I'd like to take that away for sure.
Yeah. And so how do you feel right now, just looking over at money? How do you feel?
Yeah, if it's there, it makes me feel slightly uncomfortable, actually. Like I really like it, but there's this weird thing going on in my head about it.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want you to leave all of that in the chair and just stand up.
Yeah.
And just see it there and just leave it there.
As in,
And now I want you to go over and sit in the chair of money.
Okay.
Where money is.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're sitting there. You are now money. You are money. You are the perspective of money. And you're looking over and seeing Tamara in that chair, and you've noticed that circle of what you've just said about money. Now you are money. You're in the point of view of money. And you're just seeing yourself sitting across in chair number 1. And just see through the eyes of money. Breathe through money lungs. Hear through money ears. And just notice the energy coming off the person in chair number 1, you. What is it like just sitting across from you, this person? As money, what's your belief about this person?
I guess, as in for me on this seat, looking at who I would be.
Your money looking at Tamara.
Yeah. I guess when I look at that attitude, it was more like a kind of, it actually feels a bit easier to be in the money, but a sadness that I feel like that about the money.
Yeah. What else do you notice? What energy do you see?
I guess there's a bit of fear connected to it.
Yeah.
A bit worried that something horrible is going to happen. But also looking over there, it's a bit like, well, of course you can have money, there is money there. But it's still slightly split, even the energy here, but it's not as strong as it is. The resistance isn't as strong over here from the position of money as it would be from over there.
Yeah. And as money, now looking over at Tamara in chair number 1, what's your outcome? What's your intention? As money now, what would be your intention?
Oh, if I had money in this situation now, it would be just to enjoy it and have fun with it.
What else?
I don't know, and also kind of reassure myself that lots of people have money and it's all right to have money, sort of thing.
Yeah. How does that feel?
A bit easier being over here, but there's still a bit of fear attached to it. But yeah, I mean, it would be lovely to have it, or the opportunity to even think about it and trust that I can get it.
So just close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And just feel what it is like to be money. What does it really feel like?
Well, it would be so much easier to have a lot of money. Yeah, it's more of a sense of ease about it.
Mm-hmm.
And possibility and spontaneity and comfort and just, yeah, fun.
And what are your beliefs?
Feel slightly, I guess I still believe. I'm a bit nervous about having money because I've never really had money, and no one in my family has ever had or seemed to had a lot of money or been able to hold on to it, always struggled. So
just remembering you are money. You're in the
okay.
of money.
Okay.
What's your beliefs as money?
It's just there, sort of thing, and it's available.
Yeah.
That you can have a lot of fun with it, that it's got good things, it can have a good energy connected to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels a lot easier just to accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have money, there's just lots of little things that you can think about buying or doing, or places to go and to see, and you can always breathe like a sigh of relief, or just like it's there, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Trusting that it's there and it's not going to go away.
Yeah. Great. So you can get up, you can stand up.
Yeah.
And you can leave that there. Leave that in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can sit down into your pillow.
Okay.
And cushion right in the middle there.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in chair number 3 in your cushion. You're now the super conscious.
Okay.
And you've got access to all the information. And you notice the U chair in chair number 1, and you notice the money in chair number 2. And just between the two perspectives, the two chairs, what's the energy between them like?
I don't know. There's probably more of a stability with the money, like more of a tangibility to it, strength to it. And over here, there feels more of a fear and a grasping and an unease about it.
So what needs to happen for both of these parties to increase satisfaction? What information would they need to share with each other?
I guess the money perspective would have to be almost like a new way of seeing money that I haven't thought about before. Yeah, kind of that it's not necessarily associated. Like lots of people in the world have money and they haven't got all the fear and the unease and the weirdness about it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel that it's sort of okay. People do have money. Lots of people have a lot of money, and they don't suddenly die or have an asthma attack that night just because they've got a comfortable amount of money.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't mean something bad's going to happen to someone that you love.
Yeah. What else? What other information would you share across?
When you have money, you can do a lot. more things, and you can, you know, not be so worried about stuff. And energetically, I guess sort of allow, just relax into it more, and just have a knowingness about you that, you know, a sense of ease and calm and stability, that you're in control of things. So if you can just let the money in and trust that it's there.
Yeah. So just imagine sending this information across to one another, sending that information to the respective chair. And you're sitting there as a super conscious, you have access to all the information available. So just imagine sending this information to the respective chair.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Just knowing you have access to all the information, is there anything else you would like to mediate between the two and send to the respective chair? Just notice anything else.
Okay. I guess this is where I get still a little bit funny. So I can feel that, you know, there's a sense that trying to calm myself into just accepting it, encouraging, going, you know, that, hey, there's money here, it's all good, just to relax, enjoy it. And then the other part would be more that negative poverty mindset is a bit like, oh my God, like really, like not, still sort of grasping, not being able to quite trust that. And then there's more of a feeling of abundance from this side, which is just stop blocking your blessings, just allow it in. Like, you know, energetically, I can feel myself so knotted up about it at times, even though I try and relax into it, that I'm not in alignment about it. And it's almost, you know, I've tried really hard to work on this, but it's almost like
So what's the worst that could happen if you had financial abundance?
I don't know, the worst that could happen if I get the money in something, I don't know, something horrible happens to someone I love and the money's not enough to, you know, enough to save them or to help them. Yeah, it's quite a weird headspace, isn't it?
So what would money say to that person?
Oh, you know, just enjoy it whilst it's there. There's money here. It's not just because you've got money doesn't mean that you're going to die. Someone that you love is going to die. Someone gets ill, you could still afford to pay for more medical treatment. I don't know. There's like this. Just relax, let it in, enjoy it. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
So send that energy to chair number one. Just physically, you know, imagine it in your mind's eye, that information in a bubble, and send it, blow it over to chair number one, and just see yourself open to receive the information that money wants to send you. And as the superconscious, you notice both perspectives and you nurture both perspectives and you allow that communication to happen between the two. If one has a fear, the other one has the answer. And just allowing that portal of information to flow between the two. Just like water running downhill, it's just flowing. The information is just flowing.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
And when you're ready, just get up, stand up.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like even I'm trying to do that flowing thing, I still feel in my head going a bit of a weird space about it. Okay, I'll stand up. Yeah.
And just notice it there. And just sit back down in chair number 1.
Yeah.
And now that you've got added perspectives from chair number 2 and 3,
yeah,
that you might have gained from the other positions, notice what you need to notice, and just notice how your energy and attitude is now looking at money in the chair opposite.
yeah, it softened a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about looking at money in the chair opposite now? What do you notice now?
I guess I'm thinking of more of the nice things that can come from it rather than from such a more of a fearful perspective.
Great. Great. And how do you feel? How does it feel sitting there now with these new insights?
Mm. A little bit of softening, but still a bit of unease around it, and a still not quite trusting that it's coming. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But it feels a little bit better, right?
Yeah, a little bit softer. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would be your resistance now out of 10?
Oh, I think it was before, it was like an 8+, and it's probably a little bit, maybe, to be perfectly honest, probably about 7 or something.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Slightly lower.
Yeah. But notice what you can shift, even if it's just 1 notch, which is the safest amount that, you know, your subconscious is willing to shift right now. But it's something.
Yeah.
And just notice how, you know, just that wasn't necessarily subconscious work. That was just a process.
Mm-hmm.
How we can get more information and it can quite quickly shift or ease your perspective.
Yeah.
So the more, you know, you can go back and do the replay again and just do it. Yeah, you can do that one again. And just notice each time you might get new bits of information might come to you that will help with the shift. But there's a lot of layering. This boulder's quite big, and so we just need to chisel off, just chip away, just the perfect amount, the safest amount that you know your subconscious is willing to take at that one time. But see how it's, you know, it is possible. We are able to relieve that pressure and chip off a little bit at a time, just in the perfect way.
Okay.
And it'll get easier and easier.
That would be good.
But it's like going to the gym. It's like going to the muscle. Like you said, you know, you've never seen it from that perspective before.
Yeah, that's true.
And so the more you train it, the more you train yourself, the more you'll trust, and the more you'll notice that perspective and allow it in. Because at the moment, you know, you might be blocking a little bit, but just choose to allow it in at the start of the session, at the start of, you know, your morning, or before you do a Reiki session or something. Just set that intention to choose to allow it to soften.
Okay.
Allow yourself to receive.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Amazing.
Okay. It's a different approach. It's not like a recoding thing, is it? It's more of a shifting of
yeah, it's like when you bring super conscious in.
Yeah.
You're realizing how we can really get sucked into our own mindset. And so you can change money with anything that you've kind of got conflict with, or you know, it could be a person, it could be a, you know, like it could be anything really, isn't it? Like a situation that you're in, and you just want to kind of gain more information from someone else's perspective, and just, you know, shifting that quite, and then going into the super conscious. Okay, so how do you mediate between the two? Just gaining a perspective, giving yourself more information to then make an informed decision about, you know, what money really is. Like you said, you know, as money, it's, you know, it's safe here. No one's dying. People are happy, you know, like there's like big shifts. And maybe watch the replay and just notice the words that you say and your shifts.
Yeah, thank you.
Would be quite powerful.
Chip away at it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being the guinea pig.
Thank you, Amber. I'll see you.
See you next week. Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lunchtime again Monday. Should be back in action.
Okay, perfect. Cool. Thank you so much. Good
Thank
night.
you. Have a good night.
Do I just leave now, I guess?
Bye.
See you later. Bye.